All right, everyone. Welcome to tonight's game. Last time, our intrepid band of adventurers, Storm Animus, were investigating some cultish activity in the city of Aeradale. The party finished a battle with some of these cultists in the basement of the Wayland estate. A dark elf threatened Jormund after catching him upstairs, but Mullock cast a clutch hold person spell, allowing you to quickly kill off this dark elf with the released orcs. Actually, the released orcs just pummeled him to a pulp and dispelled that situation quite quickly. Aaron found a suspicious letter in addition to a few old journals in his father's old study. Satisfied with your search of the estate, with some guards finding their way into the house, you went downstairs to finish the tunnel that you had discovered. With the tunnel finished, you explored a dark cave system that slowly transformed into what appeared to be a functional underground city. Entering the city, you were approached by a Duergar by the name of Olmus, a rather drunken man with a strange long robe on. He offered his services as a guide throughout the city. A couple of you didn't really trust him that much, and with a few pretty good insight checks, you notice that he's definitely got more going on than just a guide. You had asked him to lead you. It was kind of undecided. You asked him to either lead you to the inn or an inn, or potentially to the temple district of this underground city. And that's where we are. That's where we are going to start tonight. So, Golmus just looks up at the rest of the party and says, "All right, well, where you want to go with my services, the guide? You know, I really want all the cash I can get. So let's see where we can get you."
I think some of us are a little beat up, so we should probably find the inn first.
Yeah, let's find the inn.
Oh, and go to the inn.
Yeah, the inn, please.
Oh. Okay. I want to make sure I heard you right. And he takes a big swig. Let's see. There's the Broken Sword. It's an inn. There is there's the Hoppin' Slacks.
Let's go Broken Sword. What? We were at the Hip and Wax already, or what? What was it?
No, we're in. Hold on.
Let's go to the Broken Sword. Broken Sword Inn.
Broken Sword. Okay. Here we go then. And he starts walking off down one of these side caves. It's all very confusing. The cave systems seem it's just hard to see all the way down them, so you're very easily lost. Where you turn a corner, it looks exactly the same as the last passageway, and weaving through a bunch of different passages, you eventually come to a cave where the wall has been carved out fairly well. A tall, like a two-story saloon kind of style building where there are small wooden pillars that hold up a overhang over the front of this the front of this establishment. There's two swords crossing the front of the establishment above on a plaque. However, both of them are broken and just rusted and jagged. You hear kind of a rabble coming from the inside, and in classic saloon style has the swinging doors that lead to the entrance. Golmus just says, here we are. You want to talk to Ethel? She'll get you set up real good.
I walk in.
All right. Molek just barges ahead. You walk by the doors and they go squeaky, squeaky, squeaky as you walk between them. And you come into a room that is just quite packed with various dark elves, Duergar, and humans for the most part. Lots of chatter. And as you, this large black tiefling man that's insanely large and just obvious as all heck, the rabble, the noise just almost vanishes right away as everyone seems to be looking at you.
I'm going to lean over to him and be like, I don't know about you, but I think we need to get to a room pretty quick.
Well, they do. Walk over to the bar.
Everyone just watches as you come up to the bar. At the bar, there is kind of a heavy-set looking female halfling who's standing on just like a stool to try and be at bar height. And she kind of leans over as you approach, gives you just a look up and down.
I do the same to her, just
we would like a few rooms, if you have them.
Sure.
3, to be precise.
3 rooms.
Three rooms. Let's see.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Who's looking at me like what's the feel of the room? Are they scared of us? Are they just looking at us because we're different? Like that type of thing.
They're looking at you in the we've never seen you before.
Okay.
Why are you here kind of look. They don't know what to expect. No one looks particularly afraid. They just look like they're giving you like the who's this chump kind of look. The halfling behind the bar says, 3 rooms are ready for you upstairs. That would be a total of 15 gold.
All right, fine. And I plop down the 15 gold.
All right. Room's yours for the night. She turns to all these people that are staring and just says, "Oh, they're paying, they're fine." And then all of a sudden, they all just start like, and they start going to talking amongst each other again. Can I get you anything to drink?
What do you have?
We've got a fair selection of wines. The elves are very fond of their wines.
Do you have any ales? Any ales?
Ales? Yeah, I'd say The Earthbreaker ale.
I'll have that.
Pretty, was popular. All right, so she puts out how many ales? Two bunch of ales. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll
she
take
puts
one.
out some ales.
I don't know. They're both for me.
Oh yeah, I'll take one. So,
Oh,
How
yeah.
did I
All
do
right,
it?
she pours some more ales, puts them out. New folk on the house.
Why, thank you. And I plop down 1 gold, anyways.
Oh, much obliged. She takes it and puts it underneath the counter. So, and then she says, if you don't mind me asking, strange looking folk.
What, you guys have never
you-
seen a half orc?
What you doing?
Come on.
No, I have seen a half orc before, but not usually down here. So what's your business, if you don't mind?
Our business is more or less our own right now.
Fair. She appears to have leaned in over the counter a little bit, as if she was like really trying to absorb whatever piece of gossip she could get. But then kind of looks disappointed as you don't reveal anything. It's like,
Although we have quite a bit of time here. Is there anything? We're you could say a bit of freelance worker. Is there anything you might need assistance with?
I can't say personally no. Although knowing that some mercenaries are down here, well,
Whoa. Negative term. Freelancer. Professionals. Freelancer.
well, if you want to spin it that way, that's your prerogative. But know that mercenary work is abundant here, and you're going to get some fair bit of competition.
Right. Does anyone notice, like me specifically, looking around?
Make a perception check.
Ah! Okay. That'll be a lot. 19.
19. You look around, and ever since everyone started talking again, you see a few people like eyeing the group down, but no one specifically staring at you in specific.
Right. Because I know, like, I look like my brothers. I assume I look like my father, so people, and like, someone was kind of wearing my face. So I have no idea how famous I am at this point.
At this point, no one's really paying you much mind.
Okay.
Everybody's mostly looking at our contract written on the horns, a friend, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're very curious about him, at least. You see people like kind of sneaking a look after they, take a pull from their stein. And then they'll go back to chatting with their friends.
Did we see other tieflings in this area, like in this town thing?
Not really. You haven't even really seen that many tieflings in your travels in general.
Right.
So they're equally rare down here.
Okay. Right. So we're just drinking and gossiping.
Drinking and gossiping.
Do we have rooms? Keys.
Oh yes, I can. I'll show you upstairs.
Wonderful. I thank you very much.
He takes all that would join up the stairs. You notice that while the building appears to be made or had once been made out of wood, It is now the wood has been petrified to the point where it's all like it feels like stone. It's definitely not wood anymore. And you see that in a couple of corners, it looks like they got a little bit lazy, and the stone that they had to dig to get this place free from its encapsulation just wasn't totally chiseled out of the corners. So sometimes they're a little bit rounded and
rough.
a little rough around the edges. But you notice that even like the hand railings, while they were once wood, are now stone. You kind of walk up the stairs and find some rooms. She shows you into them. Each room just very stark. It looks like once there were windows, but now it leads to just a flat rock face on the wall. So it's a little claustrophobic, but it's still very functional. She just says, well, if you need anything, I'll be downstairs serving my customers.
Lovely, thank you very much. And when she leaves, can I just like inspect the room for any hidey holes or like peek holes, or do the walls have ears, Mitchell?
Sure. Do an investigation check.
Okay. Maybe one day I'll have a score. I'll have an intelligence modifier. Let's see. But not today. 3.
3.
Ooh.
There are very flat walls. Doesn't look like there's any holes.
Jolly good. I will, I don't know, light a candle or whatever it is we use for light down here in this.
Yeah, there's it's just, the hallways are kind of lined with various candles, and the room has one supplied. So yeah, you light a candle. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna go back downstairs to what's her name again?
You didn't ask her name.
Oh, I thought
The Golmas gave us a name.
Ethel. That's Ethel.
Ethel.
Oh, that's just Ethel.
Apple. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and find who I believe to be Ethel.
Okay. So you find her just serving various patrons, putting out large sudsy steins to some Duragar.
Okay. So when she stops for a second, I'm gonna ask her, like, so how much traffic do you see coming in and out of the Temple District these days?
Oh, people go there almost every day. They keep to themselves, though. Sometimes those particular deities don't get along very well. So people, they understand. We want to go do whatever their worship is, but, stay out of each other's way.
Do they feud ever?
It's been a while. 30 years or so before the last time there was any sort of fighting.
Right. So while this is going on, is there a desk in the room and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just, I'm going to take the night and take however long it takes, I guess, now that we've situated a little bit, to, yeah, I'll start reading those 2 journals just like in order, cover to cover, if I can.
Yeah, and let's kind of powwow in the same room. Malik can still be downstairs, but I want to be in like the same room with Atreus and Aaron so we can like figure out what to do.
Okay.
Well,
So you guys kind of gather in one room. Aaron is just opened up one of the journals and has, like before where he was just quickly paging through to find anything interesting, now is reading them very deliberately.
Yeah.
So as you guys gather, Mullock, what are you doing downstairs?
Well, I was gonna ask, like, what? Being new down here, where is the Temple District from here?
Oh, it's a little bit. It's in the center of what the above ground town would be. That's a little bit northwest of here.
Okay.
I hope you have a guide because there's no real good maps.
Yeah, I have a semblance of a guide. We'll see how sober he is in the morning.
No good Durgar down here is ever really sober.
Fair enough. I'll take one nail from you if you haven't.
Sure.
Throw her gold.
Okay.
And then I take the drink and I go back upstairs.
All right. Everyone upstairs. What are you doing?
I mean, I take a deep breath.
Aaron, you find anything?
Aaron, in let's see here.
I'm not a speed reader.
No.
I don't even know if I'm much of a reader. My intelligence is not very high.
As you read through the oldest looking journal, it's a super depressing journal. You can tell that he started journaling about as soon as your mom died. It's very like, I tried to get up today and do some things, but I ended up just sleeping all day or something like that. It's just the writing of his sorrows and his troubles. Like I mentioned before, if we didn't write it down, one specific entry was saying, like, she's gone. She was taken from me much too soon. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting was he forbade Eric and Erduin from speaking her name. And you don't really gain any additional like revelationary information from that journal. It's you reading through it. He doesn't say anything specific about his wife. It's just he's trying to vent it off.
Sure.
His feelings.
Does it seem like the man I know to be my father? Or does this seem like a stranger to me?
It's strange in the sense that you're not used to him showing that kind of weakness to the public. Like, so it feels like any weakness that he might have had, because he's one of those nobles that puts up this very strict, strong, and powerful front. And that's a front that you saw. So it might have been something that you didn't even see it as a front. It was just who he was.
Right.
So if this was going on while you were around, you didn't see it.
Okay.
The newer journal, once you get to it,
How long does it take to read the first one? Sorry.
Huh?
How long does it take to read the first one? What time is it? Do we have any sense of time? Tell me everything.
You remember you left for the Wayland Estate in the morning and had that short battle. So on short, best guess, it's like noon.
Okay.
But obviously your surroundings don't betray that fact. They're just like, it's dark. with candles. Like that's the best you got.
Got it. It's too candle.
It takes you like an hour to read the first journal.
Okay.
Then the newer one, it's kind of like vague plots.
Oh,
There you go.
About eliminating problematic noblemen, and talking about, oddly, he seems proud of you specifically, of being so effective at eliminating his enemies.
Okay.
He presents it in an ever so slightly regretful way. Like these things must be done, despite how terrible they are.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Sorry. Notes.
No, it's all right. And yeah, again, he doesn't outline any specific scheme or
Sure,
anything.
he was too careful for that. Yeah.
So he also, every once in a while, and this is one thing you didn't catch the first time you like quickly went through, is there are like periodic mentions of like, I still think about her every once in a while, and I need to do this work to stay strong. Things like that.
So nothing gets more like manic.
No, in fact, he never sounds. I mean, like, it's insane. The fact, like, merely the fact that you're killing people is the insane part. But he doesn't sound, like insane or manic. It's all very ordered.
Yeah, and like the handwriting remains stable the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. And I think I asked this before. What's kind of like the last bit?
The latest bit was like, I believe, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it was talking about you and how he was proud of you for the last contract, or the last thing he wanted you to do, which was
As the woman, I think.
I think so, yeah.
The Durandal job.
That was Aberforth.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I just steal the Declaration of Aeradale. Okay. That was that one. Okay. I see.
Yeah. He talked about just like how it's kind of like a follow-up or like a debrief where it's like nobody suspects anything. People just think Aberforth went mad. Things like that.
Right, yeah. That's the whole point. Okay. All right. I'll stash the books in my bag. Kind of give the boys a once over.
All right.
There's nothing truly useful in here. Just a man's journal.
How long did that take?
Probably like 2 hours.
Oh my god. You're finally done. Oh. Did you learn anything?
No.
God damn it.
Well, we do know. So we do know that any of this sort of demonic necklace type stuff with the cult and any of these red-robed figures happened completely after he started recording himself, recording these thoughts. There's no mention whatsoever, not even a hint. It ends with me. It's not even after my death.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No record of the cult.
No. So it's a fairly recent affair.
That makes sense.
Right.
Now, did we recovered something saying that he was like meeting, what was it, the timeline again for when he was going to meet at the time?
Yeah, so you got an additional letter, and it is I can reread it for you guys since it's been a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Lord Wayland, the plan is going well. Our pieces are in place and are not suspected. The people will soon bend to our will. The item we promised, the item we promised you will be arriving on the 16th of Kun in a caravan. Your shipment is arriving soon. Pick it up from the caravan owner wearing a red scarf in the market plaza in 2 weeks' time. And I will specify this is 2 weeks from the time of receiving this letter. Then meet us in the undercity temple. The power will be yours. We are sure this act of good faith will shape your choices to come, and that you think of your family when you make those choices. With our regards, the prodigal son.
Right. Who has that letter?
You do.
I thought Aaron did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was with his journal.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
What was
Okay.
the 16th for? Was that the date of delivery? The date of the delivery?
That was the date that he was to meet. Or no, let's see.
that was when the item arrived.
Yeah, that's when it arrived in town.
Okay.
And the 16th was 5 days ago.
It is the 21st.
It is the 21st.
So there's another 9 days before he needs to pick it up.
It's hard to tell because you don't know when he got the letter.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
But if we go see if well, they said that someone in a red scarf would have what he's looking for. Right?
Yeah.
Well, my question is, he's not in his house. He's supposed to be down here at some point. So he's probably down here. Or dead.
I'd go with the former.
I say we try to find him.
Right. Well, there was the mention of this cult, or whomever they may be. They have a temple down here that no one seems to be messing with except them. I'd bet he's in that area. We should check out the marketplace.
I
Hi. And I get up.
I get up with my 2 drinks that have been empty for a while now.
For 1 hour and 58 minutes.
So let's head to the market district.
Okay. You guys find, as you go downstairs, Golmus is, he's not really participating in what's going on in the main part of the inn. He is kind of standing by the doorway, and he looks like slightly nervous as he's like peering out the door, twiddling his fingers, looking around a little twitchy. And then you guys come down, and he's like, so, where are we going?
Wait, I fancy a bit of shopping. Take us to the market, perhaps.
Shopping. Yeah, we can do that.
Wonderful. Golmis, you see plenty of folk run through this place, correct?
Yeah, lots of folk.
Right. Any blue fella with long? Did he have long hair? I think he had long hair. Long white hair.
Blue fellow. One would notice a blue fellow, you think?
Oi. Especially coming from a little grey fella such as yourself.
Yeah. I resent that. Come to think of it, I think I did see a blue folk come down here.
Oi. And when might that?
A couple days, maybe.
Was he with anyone? Any idea where he might be headed? Any information you give us would be much appreciated. I give him a wink.
He knows how to speak Golmis. He does. He kind of like gives you a smile. I think he was heading down. Well, let's see. He was with someone. He was with a man with kind of like black nobleman suit. Dark hair. Looked too serious for his own good.
Was he older?
Older, yeah.
I see. I mean, is he describing my father?
Yeah, best you can tell.
Sure.
Was with a couple strange men with some red robes, wanted to say.
Oi. Any idea where they might have gone? Or did you just see him pass by?
Some passed. Didn't follow him. Weird people come down all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oi. Much appreciated. Would you like one for the road? I'll buy you a drink. Traveling fair.
Oh, sure. I'd love that.
Sure. I'll kind of wave over a drink.
He's like, make it one of the dark wines.
Go make it two. A to go if you can.
Wait, are you getting one? Because if you're getting one, I'm gonna get one. Make it three.
Ethel's just like, we're beyond the house, on the house at this point. That'll be 3 golds, please.
Oh yeah. No worries at all.
Pay up your lordship. Come on.
I'll lean on the bar as I slide the gold over. Ethel, do you see all sorts of folk come and go? Or are you pretty much toyed behind the bar here?
I see some folk come here and there. I mean, this is the inn, of course.
Of course. Any mention of a blue fella with long white hair?
Blue
or a gaunt-looking black fella, looks like an older version of me, perhaps.
Can't say I have.
Wait. Well, never mind.
Sorry.
I'll slide over four gold.
Oh, much obliged.
Wait. We'll return with the. Are they in horns or goblets or something?
Yeah, they come across in some goblets. They look like the cheap stuff because she's like, you're leaving with my stuff. So
we'll return with these.
Sure, I hope so. Otherwise, I'll have to put House Gelray on you.
That's fair. Right, off we go.
All right, so you guys leave, and you're asking Golmis to take you to the market?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the Underdark has an open carry policy.
You walk down the dreary street of this underground city, drinks in hand, Golmis leading the way. You see periodically pairs of dark elves with spears patrolling back and forth. Very official looking clothing, dark leathers with silvery trim, kind of flowing capes. They kind of eye you as you pass and nod every once in a while. The level of patrol seems quite strong. And winding through these caves, you're quickly lost. Like, you don't know. It's hard to tell where you've come from at this point. It'd be hard to get back to the inn.
Okay. So it doesn't resemble Upper Aeradale at all, really?
No, like, it's like the general directions of the roads are intact. However, they seem to meander a lot because the roads above are quite wide, and here they kind of just dig in various directions back and forth to try and get to specific buildings on the sides.
Okay.
So
how many of us can stand like across next to each other?
Like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Sometimes it gets a little wider, sometimes it gets a little narrower. At one point you actually have to like side shimmy a little bit to get through one of the smaller cracks.
Nice.
It gets a little claustrophobic.
No obesity in the Underdark, I see. All right.
And the area starts opening up a little bit, and you find there's a couple rows of shops. Gomez just looks up to you and says, "So, what are you looking for?"
Oh, I'm just trying to get a lay of the land here, maybe scope out some knickknacks, maybe a weapon or two. Also get a sense of the kind of people that are down here.
Sure.
Especially if any of them are wearing a red scarf, perhaps.
A red scarf. You like red scarves?
You know, I need to see it on other people before I buy it myself, you know?
Sure.
So
I can be a model for the
Right.
price.
Right, but you're a little short. It just wouldn't have the right effect, you see. Like, if you happen to have noticed or will notice anyone around my height, perhaps, wearing a red scarf, be sure to let me know.
I see.
Fashion is of the utmost importance, and I pay well for high fashion.
You're a strange man.
I'm a noble, sir.
Yeah, that's strange. And he like starts walking down. Well, over here, there's Allen's Arsenal. They do a little enchanting. A small amount of forging as well. Then there's Octavius's outrageous oddities. Kind of a freaky fellow like you. This the horned one over here. Hey,
Is Octavius the one that's having some difficulty? I think you mentioned last time he's being extorted or something.
Ooh. You guys, last time, you actually saw outside of this store, you saw a young woman kind of being harassed by some of the Dark Elven guards.
Oh, yeah, like, give me more time and I'll pay, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember now. Suppose we could go back to our YouTube channel and rewatch the old episode.
Or fandom.stormanimus. What is it? storm-animus.fandom.com. We're through like August of 2018.
It's
Anyways,
pretty well updated. That is really impressive, Adam.
no problem, you guys.
You look around, and the rest of the shops are not as well like built out. Most of these other shops are kind of like they're like clothes shops or small markets just with various foods. Very external of the walls. So there's, the cave wall, and then there's actual small wooden carts and structures that make up kind of a bazaar like marketplace that lines the walls of this slightly larger chamber.
Is the like is this region like Solaria where there's like a distinct look to the people in place, like fashion wise?
The look is dirty.
Okay.
We're underground.
I don't know, maybe it's some sort of like,
It's the mole people.
Maybe they have a Roomba.
The only people that appear to have a look are the drow guards.
Sure. Right. And I won't appropriate their culture at this time, thank you. Okay. Oh, that's the fun part about playing an upper middle class white male. All right. Yeah, I mean, I have my eyes peeled. Am I finding anyone matching a description that I need?
Make a perception check.
Are there even that many people around? Like,
it's sparse, but they're there. It's never like where you look around and there's nobody.
Sure. Perception 19. It's 19.
19.
Yeah.
You look around and you see some people shopping for food, and not much else. There's just like maybe 5 or 6 people in this market area at this point, other than the shopkeepers that are trying to sell their wares. Most of them are either drow or Duergar. However, it seems like ever so slightly segregated, where like all the Duergar are kind of on one end and all the drow are kind of on the other.
Sure.
They mix a little bit in the middle, but not too much.
Interesting. Okay. Right. Do we want to? Anyone need any weapons or enchanted items or whatever? What have you?
Potions might be a good idea.
Right. I look, down and slightly to the left. Any idea where we can get some potions, perhaps?
Oh, Octavius should have you covered.
Oh, right. Well, off we go. To Octavius.
All right. You guys walk up to Octavius's Outrageous Oddities, and it is one of the larger shops or even buildings that you have seen down here. It is quite well carved out of the cave, to the point where it looks like the building's jutting out from the cave wall instead of it just being flush. It looks like the building's been this way for a while. You walk in and a small bell rings above the door as it passes. Inside you see what I can really only describe as the American Science and Surplus of stores. It's just bins and bins of what appears to be just total shit. It doesn't make that much sense. I mean, like, the stuff is vaguely useful, but you find a bin that is just like rusty nails, it's that are bent and they're not like quite well maintained. But then you find other bins that have relatively useful things like well-polished ball bearings and things like that. So it's kind of it's a mixed bag. It's everything. There's
Right.
definitely good sections of the store, and there's also just like terrible garbage as well.
Mhm.
You walk in, and from across the towards the back of the store, you hear kind of like just like a smooth, sing-songy kind of voice, and you look up in response to it, seeing a very blue-looking tiefling with like curled horns. They're pretty well decorated, like a little pierced with little with like rings coming off of it and whatnot, some like tassels coming off the ends. He's wearing just a flowing I want to say like it's a long jacket, like it's almost a robe, but it opens up at the front with buttons, and it looks like vaguely naval, like kind of with the way that it's kind of like that navy blue and kind of the gold look to it, but it looks like he probably wears it every day, and it's pretty well worn. And he walks towards the front of the store and says, hello, everyone. I don't think I've seen any of you before. What can Octavius do for you?
Right. I guess I walked in. Octavius, it's lovely to meet you. We're an adventuring band. Seeing the sights, helping where we can, chasing down red robe cultists and their demonic mutants.
Wait, he puts up his hand, and then he quickly goes to the door and looks around, and he's just like, are these folks with you?
As in, like, yes, wait, yeah.
Get in here. Gomez, stay outside. And then Gomez is just like, fine. And he sits down in front of the door, or like, off to the side at the front of the establishment. Just come. And he closes the door. Just says, red robe cultists, you say?
You know anything about him?
Only that I've heard the rumor that they've been dropping bodies in the Temple District.
Bodies of who?
I don't know. It's just a rumor. Heard it this morning.
From who?
Sorry?
Who'd you hear the rumor from?
Oh, one of the guards passing by.
Oh, okay.
Right. I've something of a personal score to settle with some of these cultists. It's one of the reasons we're around. Have they given you any trouble? Have they caused anything strange to happen in the city? You've heard rumors, but have you seen anything with your own eyes?
Me personally, no. I keep a clean establishment. I hope no one would have any reason to come in here. I mean, look at this stuff I sell. And he kind of looks over to the kind of crappy side of the of the place.
Right. Speaking of, we'll get to business after this conversation. We are here for business as well as information.
Oh, much appreciated. I do say though, it is strange to hear of such an altruistic group that would be off searching for bad cultists. It's a very strange idea. That's not something that normally happens down here.
Sure. kind of hearing this, I'll like kind of square up and like face him, stare him directly in the face, in the eyes. It's a bit more personal than that. Don't get me wrong.
I see. Well,
Now,
it's not one problem, it's always another problem. But if you can solve this one, well, tell me if you solve this one, this problem that you're after right now, which sounds rather urgent. Perhaps after you're done, you can come see me.
an arrangement could be worked out.
Wonderful. Well,
Yes. We do have personal matters to attend to, but we just met you, and you've been lovely so far. But we don't work for free, as you might imagine. You're a businessman yourself.
mm-hmm.
What do you have in this fine establishment that could perhaps help us help you?
Well, I keep a fair number of magical scrolls,
Lovely.
as well as some potions, some crudish weapons, and some odd magical trinkets. Perhaps you would be interested in.
Now that last bit does pique me interest.
I see.
Out of curiosity, when was the last time you had your last shipment?
My last shipment of what?
Anything.
Of anything?
Mostly magical items.
I pick them up here and there from folks like yourself who meander through.
Right.
So, to
Any
be
folk-
fair, it's kind of sparse.
Sure. We'll make this information worth your while, of course, but any folk with, say, a red scarf, perhaps.
A red scarf. Can't say I've seen anyone with a red scarf.
No? Blue skin, then. Long white hair.
Blue skin and long white hair. In fact, I did sell some potions to a blue-skinned man with long white hair not too long ago.
Wait. Anyone with him, or was he boy is lonesome?
Kind of a grumpy-looking man.
That sounds about right.
Asked him up. Was this grumpy fella wearing a necklace by chance? Large.
Yeah, he was wearing a quite impressive necklace, if I remember correctly.
Now that is information we can use. Do you have any more potions, or did they clear you out?
Oh, they didn't clear me out. Those things are needed a lot down here. Lots of back alley fights and things.
Oh, right.
This whole town is a back alley.
You're not wrong.
But it's a lovely back alley.
What can I get you? What are you interested in?
Potions of healing. How many? How much?
I have 8 regular potions of healing on hand, and there will be 50 gold each.
I see. I'll take 4.
If we take all 8, do we get a deal?
What kind of deal are you interested in?
What are you offering?
Usually the one making the deal or asking for the deal makes the offer.
I'll take all 8 for 300.
There we go.
Make a persuasion check.
4.
My. I'm sorry, but that is a little bit insulting.
How about 325?
Make another perception. Persuasion.
Yes, perception check.
I got 23.
Oh,
Sorcerers.
Tell you what, we'll do the 8 for 330. That's my best.
Sounds good. Then I'll hand 4 to 4 attack.
All right.
I'll give you.
Or you want 4, right? Or do we want to split them up 2 each?
Sure.
I mean, well, we got 8. Let's just take it out of the group one, and then.
Oh, I can pay for them. I can pay for them. I got tons of money.
Oh, okay.
But I meant, who wants? Does somebody want some, or I want to take all of them?
I'll have 2
potions?
Yeah. How many?
should
Are
we
there?
do two
There's 4 Everybody get 2.
2. Okay. So everyone's got
Okay.
2.
2, and
It
which
was
potions are these?
330,
Are these the regular healing potions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That 2d4 plus 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have some other kind of interesting concoctions, if you would be at all interested. I have this interesting looking vial over here, and he pulls out from behind the counter this clearish vial with what appears to be a really thick looking purple liquid on the inside, with a cloud of purple pink, more pinkish, floating on the inside of that. So it's like a 2-layered thing.
Liquid Mollymock at your disposal.
It's fizzing just ever so slightly.
Ooh.
And he says, with this potion, you can read someone else's mind.
How much?
500 gold.
I'll give you 200.
Make a persuasion check.
9.
The haggler.
I would see that your orcish friend isn't quite adept at haggling.
No,
Wait, but he's
very
so-
flashing.
But he's so good at beheading things. You can't just get rid of him.
Is that a threat?
Nope.
No.
Just a fact. I have loads of statistics.
I see.
It's true. Don't ask him about his
Unfortunately,
orchids.
this is a one-of-a-kind item in my inventory, and I can't part with it for any less.
Are you willing to trade?
How long does this last for?
I'm not entirely sure.
Was that Mitch or Octavius saying that?
That's Octavius.
What does it say on the prescription bottle?
Right.
Nothing.
Do not use while intoxicated.
If mind reading lasts for longer than 4 hours.
Oh God. That's awesome.
Consult your
Make
local
sure you're
alchemist.
enough of my reading.
Okay, let's see. I'll pull out I have a couple of sexy looking daggers. I have one ruby pommeled dagger that I'll take out, and I have one that is silver, I guess.
Yep.
I'm a small blades fellow, but these are a little too beautiful for practical use. Would you like to trade for them, or at least bring down the price?
He kind of inspects them. These look very good indeed. Here's my offer. My offer is I take these wonderful looking daggers off of your hands, and I give you this potion for 100 gold.
I think that can be arranged. You, sir, have a deal.
Wonderful.
Okay, so what's
you have a potion of mind reading. It effectively allows you to cast instantly the detect thoughts spell.
Okay.
With a save of DC 13.
Oh, so it could very easily just not work. Okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
Well, if I remember right, detect thought. This is totally meta, but detect thoughts is that DC only applies when you try and dig with it.
Yeah, so you will detect their surface thoughts, sort of like their emotions, what they're thinking at that moment. But if you want to like try and pry deeper and get more out of them, then that's when the save comes in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Right. I also I met a feller long ago who was a traveling merchant of sorts. He carried with him this black powder that, upon connecting with flame, created quite a spectacle. Do you have anything of that nature with you in your shop here?
I can't say I have anything that is a powder, but I do have some oil.
I think we're fresh out, aren't we?
Oh,
We always need a good stock of oil for all of our lamps.
I'm sure.
It's true. I'm all right on oil right now, but
Do you have anything that'll help you see in magical darkness?
Darkness.
actually, yeah. What little trinkets do you have? I'm a collector of sorts. I like have my goggles and like my backpack.
Is the best. Let's see. He kind of brings out this like tub, or basically like a crate, and puts a couple of them out onto the top of the thing. And you look inside, and it's just like bizarre looking objects in there. This is, he takes out with his one hand this like what looks like just a blob of rotting like whale fat, and he's like, this is troll flesh that always regenerates back to its original size, so you can subsist on it for, well, indefinitely.
I
You mean-
get it.
You mean people eat that?
Well,
What else do you have?
okay. Then he throws it back into the thing. It kind of goes as it lands into the crate. I have this. He kind of like pulls out from underneath all the other stuff this beautiful looking purple robe. He says, "This robe can't get dirty." And you look at it, and it is like, despite the fact that he just like threw that troll fat onto it, he pulls it out, totally pristine. Kind of like a very, very like crisscross kind of patterned, a little gaudy, but
How much?
he's like 10 gold.
Sold. I'm gonna give him
What
10
do
gold
you
for
need
it.
a clean? What do you need a purple robe for?
I don't know. Have you ever not wanted a robe? Technically, I walk around with no shirt on, so I could just put it on to look fancy every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's true. You do need a bit of a pick-me-up as far as in the fashion department.
And it doesn't get dirty, which is so good for me.
It's true. You do wade through just gallons of blood.
Gallons.
Right.
Octavius.
Octavius, I pull out. Before you show us another thing, I was looking through my bag here. Can you tell me what this what this is? I have 2 vials of yellow tapioca-looking liquid,
Oh, great.
and that's all it says. I have 2 of those, so you can pretty much say whatever you want.
It's fun when I give out random stuff.
This was a long time ago too, so I apologize in advance.
No, it's all right. I'm seeing if there is anything obvious. Because only something so specific would be written in the book.
Right.
I'm gonna guess that it's this. So he looks at it, and you see his eyes like flash blue. And he said, "Oh, these are potions of climbing.
Ooh.
They'll make you better at scaling various surfaces."
I don't want to ask a meta question, but do you think it stacks with my feet?
I'd have to read the thing.
Okay.
Because it gives you advantage on athletics checks while you climb.
Climbing, let's see, so my feet.
Also, your climbing speed is equal to your walking speed for a
Right.
mile.
Okay. Then, okay, cool. Gotcha. Right, well, I'll hang on to these. Thank you very much. What else do you have in that fancy box of yours?
Let's see what I have here. I have this marvelous set of gems where if you release them from your palm, they will spin around you and glitter about, making you look fabulous.
Or talk to them at your robe.
Let me see.
Yeah, they're like rainbow colored.
Not quite
How much?
my style. It's not my aesthetic.
Much. Well, let's see. Let me see. He checks his ledger and he's like, "It'll be 50 gold."
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping there would be like 3, and I was just going to throw him at our attack.
Love it.
You look and he has just like innumerable things in these crates. Like they're just like so random.
Crate of holding.
So nothing for magical darkness. I don't really know how else to explain it.
No, I don't think I have anything like that,
Okay.
to be honest.
Octavius, do you have any? Your potions look wonderful. They look even tasty. And I hate the taste of the stuff, but I'll take them anyways. But do you have any potions of a, how can I put this, a less life-giving nature? And more of a life-taking nature?
I see. That's not really my specialty.
No, of course not. I wouldn't ask you to such a point upstanding shopkeepers yourself.
I try and keep out of the taking of the lives thing. Yeah.
Right. Now, usually just for getting imps and the like out of my basement. But if I do need a bit of poison, where could one perhaps acquire some?
Unfortunately, House Gelray strictly regulates the distribution of poisons down here.
I'm not surprised. Now they're the ones giving you trouble, isn't that right?
They give everyone trouble.
Do you get anything in return for that trouble?
No trouble from anyone else.
Right. And is that worth it to you?
Hard to tell.
Okay.
It seems like they'd be the only ones giving you trouble anyways.
It's true. There's not much.
Hard to know what they're holding off. I will say that.
Could be nothing.
Could be. But for now, we're powerless to do anything about it. They have a pretty strong hold on this city.
It's all right. Once we take care of this personal matter,
We'll be back.
Like I said, do what you need to do, and if that is successful, I am interested. We should talk.
Why, indeed. We are professionals after all.
Well, do you want to look at any more of these strange, bizarre things? Because honestly, I'm looking to get rid of them.
Which one's your favorite?
Which one is my favorite? Well, speaking of poisons, this cup, and he takes out what's just like a little teacup, like Chip from Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
And he's like, this cup. And at this point, it's like a white, a pure white color with the gold rim on the top.
Mm-hmm.
It says, will change color if the liquid contained within it is poisoned.
Well, I'll take that. How much is it worth?
It's 50 gold.
50 gold. Practically a steal for such a useful item. We'll take it.
Here you go. He gives it over.
What do I call it? Chip.
Call it Chip.
Chip the poison tester.
Call it what you will.
Okay.
Now, which one do you have that's your least favorite?
My least favorite. Honestly, it's this pot. And he takes out a pot, and the handle never gets hot, but I'm a tiefling, so I can handle the heat. It doesn't really matter. It's totally useless to me.
Handle never gets hot.
You think that could be useful to
Put oil on it.
Yandala?
Light it on fire and pour it.
Could bring her a present. The cook.
Our cook?
Yeah, Yandala.
Yeah.
We do need to do more for them.
We
I
do.
was a bit of a dick when we left.
How much? How much for the pot?
I'll give it to you for 3 gold.
3 gold. That's
I'm trying to get rid of it.
actually, I have something you may be interested in.
I have like a bunch of great swords that I need to get rid of.
I've got these 2 gorgeous great swords. I'll give you both for the pot.
Deal?
Okay, here you go. They are kind of heavy.
That's wonderful.
As he goes to take them from you, and he is a slender man. He takes them from you. He kind of like hefts them a little bit, puts them off to the side. The forges will take them or something.
Right. Well, I did notice. Can I just have a sack of ball bearings? I did notice you got a big box of those over there.
Oh yeah. Just take one of the burlap sacks from off the side and fill her up. You probably get 1,000 of them, and that'll be 5 silver.
Easy enough. Just in case, I have to. We'll be trapped over the winter festival.
Mm-hmm. Well,
just making sure I have everything. Like, yeah.
One last thing I'll propose to all of you. And he takes out what is the equivalent to modern day like children's storybooks where the pages are made out of cardboard, so that if the kid chews it, it's not that big of a deal.
Yes, the kid. Yeah.
And it says there's a bunch of short stories in here. And if you read this book to someone that is on death's door, typically they stabilize.
Now, Octavius, I've seen a lot of things, but that just sounds like utter horse shit.
It sounds like a fairy tale, hey? And he gives like a huge wink.
How much?
This is a particularly useful item, and I will not let go of it for less than 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What if I had more great swords?
I would take them, but it wouldn't change the price too much.
Can you even read?
How many times can you use this book?
Can you even read?
It's a children's book.
It's once a day.
Man.
You can use the book once a day?
Once a day.
Oh, dang. Okay.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah, I'll give you 1,000 if you throw in those fancy jewels.
Oh, sure. Here you go. He hands you the jewels. As he's about to hand them to you, he accidentally drops them and they start orbiting his head, just like whipping around. He goes to grab them, collect them, and then puts them in your hand.
Awesome. Jewels of fabulosity.
I can make whoever's dead look fabulous at the same time.
Throw jewels at him.
Storm it.
So to use the book, it's an action to read the story. It's a very short story.
Is it in common?
Yeah, there's a bunch of it's all in common.
Okay, that'd be hilarious. It's a
it's a hyper obscure language. Yeah.
Right. Sweet.
Oh, you guys need anything else?
I look around the shop at all the junk. Nope.
Well, we've kept Golmus waiting.
Why are you taking that terrible dwarf around with you?
He's a good
Because even terrible dwarves are useful.
Well, don't let him wrench you around too much.
Oh, don't worry. We've enough gold to keep him on a nice leash.
Well, it's been great doing business with you, and I look forward to your return.
It has been an honor, and I'll extend my hand. And if he grabs it, I don't know, does he shake my hand?
Yeah, he takes out his hand coming out of the kind of baggy sleeves of his robe, his kind of bluish skin, obvious as he shakes your hand.
Wonderful. I'll kind of clasp his, I guess, in both mine and just be like, now we're trusting you here. You seem like a fine fellow. But I know you don't control everything in your life. I need you to try and forget that we were here.
Fair enough. Gives you a smile.
Right. We'll meet again, but for your own safety. You've never met us.
Who are you?
Wink. Walk away.
All right.
And we're all gonna leave. I'm
Y'all
assuming.
head out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. As you head out, Golmus is just drinking more wine. You see a little bit of it spilled out the side of his mouth and has stained his robes, a little purple on the shoulders. And it's just like, oh, I'll see you back. When we going next?
I think we should go to the Temple District. But I think before we go to the Temple District, Aaron should look a little less like Aaron.
He is pretty ugly.
Okay, Golmus. Aaron, what do you think?
Look how
First
pink
of all-
his skin is.
I think the Temple District should be tomorrow's adventure.
What time is it? Is it still about like one?
Goldmus,
know what time it
yeah,
is.
right. Goldmus, what time is it?
Yeah, probably. He like looks up. He like sucks his pinky and like holds it up into the air. Mid-afternoon.
How? What?
Well, we got to the inn at about noon, and then it took you like 2 hours to read those journals,
Wait,
and then however long it took us to get down to the market.
I mean,
How
we
long
could
to the
just
temple?
go and scope it out. Who knows?
Half
far away
hour
is that?
jaunt. Half hour jaunt to the temples.
Oh, okay. Just because we haven't rested since
Yeah.
we came out.
Maybe
Should we go
tomorrow.
scope it
it's
out?
true.
Should we go look and then come back?
Right. Let's Ortok, how many great swords do you still have?
Oh, 8.
I feel like you've been carrying around like a peacock tail of like Game of Thrones style, like Iron Throne, like.
How did you know my end game?
Right, so maybe we should take those to Alan's arsenal.
Yeah, let's go there. Gomez, where is it?
It's right there.
Okay.
It's like
Across
really
the street.
right next.
Oh,
It says Alan's Arsenal on top of a crest. And it's literally like 20 feet away, the door to it.
Ortak's just gonna go right in.
You walk in, the kind of general smell of the forge and kind of sulfurous heat hits your nostrils. Because there's like a front counter, and then behind it is like a chimney going up from the forge. It's very small and cramped in here. There's stuff lining all the walls, various tools. There's a looks like a mule kind of spinning a contraption that's like pumping air into the forge. You see working the forge is a fair-skinned kind of like dirty blonde human. He's pretty well built, and with his blacksmith's smock, he turns around, sees you come, and says, "Oh, hello. What can I do you for?"
we're looking, browse some wares and sell some stuff if you're interested.
I'm interested to buy. What do you got?
Oh, I've got these 8 beautiful great swords.
I've also got 5 longbows, 100 arrows. I'm never gonna use
Oh
them.
my god!
2
You can
elven short swords.
Can supply a small army. All right.
True.
He looks at all this stuff as you're like procuring it. I'll take any of this stuff made out of metal. I can use that if it's, a little beat up.
Not these beautiful longbows.
The bows I'm not particularly interested in. Let's see here.
Do we need anything for our forge or whatever? What's it called that we have?
A guild hall?
Yeah, the guild hall. Yeah. I can think of that. Do we need any like equipment for that?
How many people do we have there?
I'll give you 10 gold per sword. That's the best I can do.
What about these elven short swords, though?
There's so many of those things flying around down here, I wouldn't be able to sell it.
Yeah, fair. All right.
I'll give him the 8 great swords.
Sure. And then he gives you 80 gold.
Woot woot.
Neat.
Yeet.
All right.
What do you have to buy?
I make kind of the gambit of things, and he's talking to him. He's like this really soft spoken kind of like he's probably the younger brother that got pushed around all the time, and you look around as he like motions to the walls and you see exactly what he has. He works primarily in steel. It's all like long swords, short swords. It's nothing particularly special. It's just like very run of the mill steel like armor and weapons.
I like look at what's on the wall, and then I like look at what's on my back. And
Okay, well, do you have anything else?
Like, no, not really. We just kind of do the best we can down here, and it's really hard sometimes, and we just try and get the best stuff we can get, and if it's good, then it's good.
Hey, do you guys need
if
anything?
It's bad, then it's bad.
I think you're doing just fine in your forge in the underground.
Well, thanks. We try pretty hard.
I can tell. I can really tell.
It's a hard time to do like all this stuff with all the elven stuff going around. The Dark Forge is hard to compete with.
The Dark Forge.
Tell us more about them.
They're jerks. Is what they are. They're just putting me out of business.
Where are they?
Really. It's the Duragar where they all hang out with, you're not from around here, are you?
No, we're not. I've been told that there's enchanting services here at this forge.
What? What are you talking about?
Or maybe they were just talking about you and how enchanting you are. I need to take a piss. I'll be back. I need to go outside.
I'm gonna leave.
On my way out.
I'm just gonna leave.
On my way out, I just kind of look. I just like look at. I don't know. Let's say I pass Atreus, and I just give him a look of like, Jesus Christ.
Once we're outside, I'm gonna be like,
well, that was fucking miserable.
I thought I was gonna have to break out that book already. Jesus.
Holy shit. I feel bad for the mule.
Maybe that's Octavius' job. He's sick of listening to this guy 20 feet away from him all day.
Oh my god. Okay. Do we want to check out the Temple District or the Dark Forge? Or go to bed?
Where is the Dark Forge?
Well, the Dark Forge is on the far north side. It's probably a good hour of walking through the caves to get there.
I see. Would we be welcome by your kind? Are you welcome within your kind?
It should be fine. His house Gelray we should stay away from on
Sure.
Where do they spend
What
all
did you
their
say,
time?
Have any of the dark elf guards like kind of I assume they're kind of patrolling a little bit like
Yeah, you see them. They look. They notice you, but they don't give you any, foul looks or anything.
Okay. Right. Do you think they'll have anything useful for us?
If you're willing to pay out the ash for their weapons, then yeah.
How are the funds? Yeah. I don't think I have any party funds right now. I think we all have our separate things. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, do we have a stash in the bag of holding or anything?
I don't know. Ortok, how much do you have right now?
Gold?
Yeah.
620 gold.
Oh, then I might have, because I have like 3,300, which means I probably have the party.
Yeah, you
I
have
got
the party
the
one.
right
Okay.
now.
You what?
I have 1,700.
Dang. Oh yeah, but you like found a cache of sorts or something. You found a cache somewhere or something, if I recall.
Catchy.
By the well, was it when I picked up that bag or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah. And Molly, I don't think you have any Mollymock. Do you have
Not
cash?
really. Not really. It's more of a got out of the place and ran.
That's fair. After slaughtering
Job anyway.
Sweet.
What?
After slaughtering everyone, then you ran. Okay. Okay, then I have the party funds. So right, we have about 3,300. So I know I'm in need of a weapon of some sort, or perhaps they have tools we can use. Seeing as I have no supernatural abilities like breathing lightning or getting really fucking angry, I do like to use. I do like to use my tools. I say we check them out.
Let's go.
What could possibly go wrong?
All right. Well, so we have to go through the temple district to get there.
Oh, right. Oh God, is there an alley? Is there a nook or a cranny?
Yeah, there's some. It's more like roadways that aren't quite finished yet.
Okay. Is Ortok wearing his robe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You
how
have
worried
this-
do we have to be for?
This like
How would we-
cross-patterned robe that's got the hood and kind of the baggier sleeves, and it's pretty impressive looking.
I can
Love
keep
it.
things in the sleeves.
Like
I'm
more
gonna
great
pull out
swords.
one of the. No, maybe I shouldn't pull out a head right now. That's but I want to see if I can. How big is it? Is it big enough to fit a head?
It probably is, yeah.
It probably is.
fit a head in there, yeah.
I have a hobgoblin head. Maybe I can try that.
God. D&D questions. Is this sleeve big enough to fit a head? So great.
We're
So
professionals.
great.
Pull out a head from my sleeve. Put it back.
Oh, that's gonna rot so fast.
What's great is the garment doesn't care because it can't get dirty.
At it, yeah, it's pretty great.
That's
I love it.
Man, this is somehow going to prove useful. That's going to be our most useful item.
Against
I just know
acid
it.
damage.
Right. Right. Well, okay. So Ortok looks a little bit silly, but ritzy.
Fabulous.
Can I go and kind of more for myself, I don't know, give myself a twice broken nose type of thing, and like I've been in a couple of fistfights and looked like some sort of, I don't know, porter or something.
Sure, make your disguise kit check.
Proficiency plus yes, okay. That's not very much at all. 14.
14. All right, so you do a decent job, and it's a little bit more bulbous than you would have wanted, but you definitely look different as you come out of the alleyway.
Right. How's this?
You sound like a jackass.
Perfect.
He'll fit in. It'll be great.
I'll probably change. I might change this accent. I don't know if I like it.
Mickey Mouse.
A pretty big sword for a little guy.
What's the guy that had asthma in Jimmy Neutron?
Carl?
Carl.
Oh no, I sound like Carl.
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 Awesome. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, where are we going? We're going to the Dark Forge,
right?
All right.
The happiest place under Earth.
All right.
Damn it, Carl.
It's Carl with a K, but Carl is spelled with a C.
All right. So you guys start heading to the north, going into the temple district. It takes a good chunk of time for you to even get to this temple area. The cave's still winding back and forth. The general must of the air kind of getting into your sinuses and making it a little uncomfortable. Before you, the path opens up, and the sense of claustrophobia that has bothered you since entering this place seems to melt away. A large cavern, easily 50 feet tall, 100 yards across in both dimensions, is filled with faint light from disparate torch sconces. Dust hangs in the air, creating this kind of surreal scene of a place frozen in time. 4 stone buildings stand on the outskirts of the cavern. One is a very square building with the symbol of a broken arrow on a crest above a stout doorway. Second is a sprawling, wealthy-looking temple with many spires protruding from its domed roof. You can also see many webs seem to connect the spires together, and it's kind of unsettling to imagine the large spiders required to make said webs. The third building could be described as a grand mosque-like building constructed out of obsidian and copper. Feather-like patterns texture the dark walls. And finally, a Gothic structure in the shape of a 5-pointed star bleeds fire out of many braziers surrounding its perimeter. Several tall, lithe figures stand around its main entryway. In the center of the cavern, away from the temples, people walk back and forth, pointedly avoiding eye contact as they find their destinations. And
Are the years around the temple that you just, the last temple, are they red robed?
do a perception check.
Well, this would be good. 10.
10. It's hard to tell in the low light. And they're pretty far away.
Okay.
Gomez just says, "All right, keep to yourself in this area as we go across."
That's fair. Do they speak common like you do?
Most.
Okay. Do any of us speak Dwarvish? Do you speak Dwarvish?
Who, me?
Wait,
Oh yeah, I speak Dwarvish.
right, because there's that weird underdark.
Yeah, undercommon.
Right.
It's kind of like the under street slang of common, so you can probably still catch a couple of things. But yeah,
Intriguing. Right, well, let's see what there is.
okay, let's go. Hold on. He turns around and procures another wine, bottle of wine from his underneath his coat, and just like takes a big pull. Okay, I'm ready to go.
It is open carry here. This is great.
And he begins walking across this large open area. As you go across the kind of thin figures in front of the Gothic shaped temple with the 5 points on the outside, those figures resolve into what appear to be drow guards, but there's a bunch of them. More of them kind of appear out of the darkness as their garb and their skin just blend into the dark surroundings. There's probably 8 to 10 of them, the most amount you've ever seen in one place. You see, as people pass, they seem to question them, and then they move on. They stand pretty well alert at the front of this temple. Your path doesn't take you particularly near them, so you don't really have to worry about being approached. But as you go by, you notice that there's definitely some activity going on at this temple. Then you find the northern exit to this large central chamber. You begin walking for what now feels to be about an hour, and find your way to what looks like a fortress within a fortress situation, where the cave itself kind of makes this fortified position, but there's also these very perfectly crafted square stones that make up a large wall and gate system. On the front of it, there are various Duragar standing on top of the wall. As you approach, they kind of heft their crossbows and look down at you and say, "Oi, who be coming?" And then Gulmus just says, Gulmus here, just taking some people on a tour, hoping to see the Von McForge, he looks, if you could, he's not actually sweating, but if you could see like one bead of sweat go down his forehead, that's what would happen at this point. He looks very uncomfortable.
I can step forward at that point and I'll speak. We come in peace. We have coin for trade, for your wares. Nothing more than that.
All right, if you seek business, come on in.
Wait,
and the gate abruptly opens up about exactly the height needed for you guys to get in. Gives you like a slight scare. And Gulmus leads you in. Here you find a courtyard that is filled with various subterranean flora, whether it be kind of sickly looking bushes and kind of odorous fungi, large bulbs of mushrooms that like puff a little bit as you pass them. They reek of decay. Some of these trees have like little bits of flowering bits on them just to make the place look a little bit nicer. There's also like a small market, very much like the one you saw earlier on today. And one of them is this open area where there's this enormous forge. And it appears the forge itself is made out of obsidian. It's this deep black color. And there are multiple Durgar pumping air into it as it gets extremely hot. You see just a really ripped Durgar hammering on what appears to be an enormous hammer. This is like a huge head of a hammer with spikes like meat tenderizers on both sides as he's shaping it. Golmus just says, all right, well, there's the Von Mick Forge, the primary forge here. So, if you're interested in any wares, don't get your hopes up, though. The prices are quite high.
What an interesting bargaining tactic. Right, well, let's just see what we have. And I walk towards Mr. Burley.
All right, you walk up. He's kind of inspecting his work and plunges
that's
in.
right, but I said it all like this. That's
he plunges it into this water, and this huge plume of steam comes out of it. It's kind of just this alcove in one of the walls. It's not really like a building in itself. And you approach. He kind of claps his hands together as a bunch of dust comes off of them. He's kind of this beefy man with he's bald on top, but has like all these kind of stone runes like curled into his long red beard. Long red beard. And he looks up as you approach and just says, new customers here looking to buy the best, I assume.
Only the best.
Very well, very well. What are you looking for?
Oh, just some useful knickknacks and tools and maybe a weapon that could incinerate our foes, that kind of stuff.
Incinerate, you say?
It's true. I like the fire just a little bit. It seems to work for me.
Well, the fire is quite nice, and we work hard for the fire. What's your poison in terms of size?
Oh, well, you have these flaming short swords.
And I'll take them out and like light them.
Just these little guys right here.
Look at this guy. Yeah, those are tiny.
That's right. Well, it's good for stabbing stuff.
Yeah, stab. Why stab when you can make, the watermelon pop?
Oh, well, then you want to talk to my green friend here. He'll make things pop.
As I'm sitting in my purple robe.
You mean your fancy friend over there?
Oh, yeah, but don't let him fool you. He really just likes the space to keep all his severed heads.
I see.
I should have put the hobgoblin head in.
Well, Mr. Fancy, what can I do for you?
I was wondering if you had a belt of dwarven kind.
A belt of dwarven kind. That is oddly specific, but also you've come to the right place. Let me see here. And he walks off to the back. He comes back with a gorgeous looking bronze belt with the image of an armored dwarf head on the front of the belt, like a kind of like a WWE championship belt. Very like an obtusely large buckle on the front of it. And he says, "Only one we got. Extremely rare item, these. We don't make them very often because, well, you know, we're all dwarves."
You don't say.
If I remember correctly, it's quite finely crafted. And you said extremely rare. What is the price on one of these?
Well, I couldn't let it go for anything less than, let's say, 6,000 gold.
Right. Now, Ortok, my friend.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to
Right.
know. I'm in the market, and I don't have all of the money with me, but that's good to know.
All right.
It was like 10 for the last time I asked. So this is good.
Nice.
Jesus, what's the thing I'll do?
What,
It does a lot of
what's-
things,
Right.
including growing you a beard.
It's great.
Hey, 50% chance. Just like what I did over the break or whatever was look this item up because Ortok wants one.
He can read.
Or at least talk to people.
Right.
Now, I'm just a puny, wimpy human. You can tell my face is very battered and bruised. I get in some fights with people like him there, and luckily I still have my head on my shoulders. But is there any possible way that there's anything that could help me just survive?
Do you have anything that will make me not die?
That's amazing.
He looks at you in disbelief, like, are you actually a guy? Like, or like, you know, like, this is a person that I'm talking to?
Well, you see, because I like my knickknacks. I have these fancy goggles that let me see in the dark. Because I can't. I'm not one of you folk. I have these nice wings,
And I like pop out.
Jesus Christ.
because it's kind of nice being up in the air, especially if it gets me away from danger, which I seem to find myself in quite frequently.
We do make some adamantine armor types. If you'd be interested in some plate, we can hook you up with that.
That's a little heavy for my liking, buddy. But thank you. Any like really great daggers or projectiles?
No, we specialize in the smashing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Smashing and the, well, at least the large amounts of cutting. Or bludgeoning.
Right. The good stuff. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so no daggers or anything of that
No,
sort.
you want to talk to those stupid elves if you want some stabs. Yeah.
Right. Well, I find dwarves to be much better company, but if you say so, I guess I'll talk to the elves. Thank you.
Well, you know, we gotta differentiate our business from those backstabbing elves.
Right. It's just so unfortunate because backstabbing is just my, it's the thing I do. Because if you were to fight me, you would crush me like a grape. Yeah. So.
I see. Well, remind me not to bet on you in the next arena fight.
Oh, no, assuredly not. There's a reason I travel with a blue lizard man, a giant green wizard, and whatever he is. This terrifying monstrosity next to me here.
Now that man over there. He points at Mullock and says, now that man over there could probably swing something fierce.
I'm still holding the halberd like a giant walking stick.
Like that. That's an impressive weapon over there.
I just give him a nod.
And Martis, too. Full package.
Oh, it's true.
So it seems like we're not really going to do anything here, are we?
Where? No. I turn to our guide and I go, where? Is there a designated enchanter? Someone who does the enchanting work specifically?
It'd probably be, well, Alan. He usually does it. What'd you do in there?
We got the hell out. What a fucking weirdo.
Have you ever had an extended conversation with that guy? It is legitimately painful.
No, not really.
Right. I don't recommend it.
Okay.
That kooky blacksmith is the enchant.
I wouldn't let him enchant my shoes. No.
I wouldn't let anyone enchant your shoes.
Right. It creates a small explosion every step you take.
Fireball. That is not what I meant. My shoes are flying.
Oh man, the flubber enchantment.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. You have a magnificent forge and very large biceps. I think it's time that I went to go talk to some elves. I'm sorry.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye, you too. And then we leave.
All right. Golmus, hurriedly gets out of there as you guys leave. The gate, abruptly opens and closes behind you. And he's like, oh, why did I have to re-go there again?
Let's see, let's swear.
We wanted to see if they had the stabby.
All right. Where next?
I keep almost dying.
I might keep this. I like this one.
Should we go
in the old disguise bank?
Check out the elves, or should we rest up and go to the temple district tomorrow?
Well, from what I understand,
are we near anyone?
If you walked a little bit away from the wall, then no.
Right. Let's say we did.
All right.
Right. From I'm speaking very low, just to our talk and whoever around our group. From what I understand, we don't want to mess with the elves. It's best if they don't really pay any attention to us at all, if possible.
Good call. I hate elves.
They're
stuck up.
Yeah.
And drink wine a lot. I just don't trust wine drinkers.
Gulmus is just like, nothing wrong with the wine.
Hey,
Okay.
shut up.
No. What do you have against wine? Damn,
What do I have
a
against
conversation. This is a conversation for at home. Let's go back to the inn. We'll go to the temple tomorrow.
All right. Here we go. And he guides you back to the Broken Sword. You enter, and it's just as rowdy as it was before. Seems like the clientele is 24/7 here.
Whatever that means. It's always dark.
All right, you guys are going back to your room then, I assume?
Yeah,
Yeah.
should we just rest up and hit it in the morning?
Cool.
I'm assuming I'm in my own room.
You guys took 3 rooms.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of you.
I'm gonna go in a room, and if somebody else goes in the room, that's cool.
Is there one bed in every room or what? I was sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, there's 1 bed in every room.
Right.
Oh.
I'll sit like on the floor or something.
We're not used to you having to sleep.
All right, so you guys get to sleep for the evening.
Yep.
The general noise of the inn never stops all night. You wake up 8 hours later, all rested up. You got all your hit points back and your spells back. Gulmus, you'll find literally just slept on the step of the inn outside.
Nice. Real quick, we can say I tested it before bed or even in the morning. It's whatever. I want to take my teacup, my decanter of endless water, and one of my poison vials, and just mix. I want to fill the teacup with water and then put just like a drop of poison. What color does it turn?
It turns purple.
Okay.
It's a vivid purple.
Sure. Like it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to know so that I wasn't like, oh, it's purple when it's full of, marmalade.
Yep.
It's
And
only
as you
poison when
empty
it's
it
like-
out,
yeah.
as you empty it out, it changes back to that beautiful white
Of
color.
course. Yeah. Okay. Just so I know what color it turns. Very good. Time for some mimosas, I think. Wonder if they have orange juice down here.
Yeah, so what's everyone doing is you wake up for the day.
Having a mimosa.
All right, you go downstairs. You find that there is like a breakfast being served, but it's kind of like this. It's essentially grits, is what it is. If you guys have ever had grits.
I have. Kind of wish I didn't, but I have.
Yeah. And they don't have any like juices or anything. There's a breakfast ale. There is
Breakfast ale. I love it.
stuff like that. It's very gritty. Generally gritty breakfast. As you guys finish up your breakfast,
I put some of the grits in the teacup. Does it change colors?
No, oddly, but maybe you should.
Okay, right.
It turns brown.
Okay.
So, what's the plan?
Temple District.
I mean, like, when we get to the Temple District.
Smash.
Right. Probably reconnaissance, then smash. That's
Yes,
generally
reconnaissance.
right. We stake it out.
Oh, that. Okay. Sure.
We spy on them. Right.
Were we putting a stake in?
Well, Well, hopefully no, but actually I might. Anyways, we need to see what's going on before we jump blindly in. Last time we jumped blindly in, we all almost died.
Is Golmus with us? Is he still outside?
He's waiting outside. Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to Golmus about what business people normally have at temples, and then we can go in with some sort of. It seems like a temple that people who worship go to, but also people who do not, like who have skeevy business.
Well, how many of those red robes do we have?
I still have one.
The robe?
Yeah.
I don't remember if I have one or not.
Okay. I don't know if it'll help us at all, but I'm just thinking.
Right. I mean, I could just if we find a cultist and perhaps take one. Yeah, we could acquire some of those robes if necessary. Right. Well, suppose we won't know what to do until we get there. But I'll go up. Well, yeah, I'll go upstairs and put on my disguise again. Can I re-roll and try to make it better?
Yep. Go ahead.
Right. Suppose I need to be someone different if I'm going to make a better disguise. Too bad. Oh, it's only 10 this time.
10.
Yeah.
All right. So, without a mirror, you try your best, but well, let's just say you're not quite sure. It's okay, but
Right.
not your best work. You come down, Ortok, you see Aaron come down, and you see that like the way that he's like made his nose look different is like almost falling off.
Aaron,
Yes.
you look like shit.
Thank you. I guess it is a disguise after all.
Okay, fair enough. Did you want to borrow my robe, which has a hood?
Would that help?
Would that help?
I don't know. You can certainly try.
You can
Oh, God.
It is fabulous.
I will.
I feel like that would attract more attention than necessary. But then again, you are a 7-foot being wearing a giant purple robe.
Are you like 7 feet tall?
I am not actually as tall as you might think. I'm 6'5".
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
all.
okay. Almost.
This, I'm taller.
Right. Yeah. How big is Atreus? Atreus is like pretty tall too, right?
He's a Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I had 6'3". Is that too small?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I'm the tiny one,
This is a tall guy.
right?
Can fit you in a sleeve.
All right. So, you guys, you're getting ready to go to the Temple District. You meeting Golmus outside and ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Golmus greets you, and you inform him where you want to go. He rubs his eyes and takes a swig, wiping his dirtied hands on his trousers, and you guys start walking towards the Temple District. As before, you take about half hour, 45 minutes, get up in there, find the large cavern, largely the same. You find that there are a couple less guards at the temple with the various braziers around it, the Gothic temple. And yeah, what do you do once you're here?
So do we... what do we do once we're here?
I will start walking towards the temple.
Which one?
The gothic looking one. The one with the obvious pentagram on it.
Right.
Well, it's not that there's a pentagram on it. Its floor plan is like a 5-pointed star.
Hmm. The one that had all the dark elves in front of it.
Yep.
Do we see any of the red-robed figures?
Do a perception check.
Perception!
20.
You're fairly certain there are no red-robed figures in this space.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of those red roped guys.
Okay.
Aaron's dad just doesn't happen to be walking around right now anywhere.
Oh,
I'm guessing.
do a perception check.
God. Lord Godric Wayland just swinging the the thing on his finger.
I got 13.
You look around. You actually don't even see any humans
Okay.
other than Aaron.
Oh boy. Maybe I should wear that robe.
But I mean, if you want.
It's too late. If I've been noticed, I've been noticed.
This is such a fun voice.
It just comes so
flipping the robe
natural.
off, and I'm like, okay.
What?
If it can't get dirty, does that mean it doesn't smell like you?
I would assume so.
It's always clean.
Right.
Therefore, I'm always clean.
That's not how it works.
I think that's how it works.
I really don't think that's
No, that's how it works.
part of the magic.
That's what he said.
I mean, I'm no sorcerer, but I just, okay.
I look like one.
That's true. You are currently more qualified than I am.
Yeah. Put my hood up, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm a sorcerer.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Who are you people?
We are
Professional.
professionals.
Professional Russians.
Awesome.
So what's the plan? We need to figure out how to get in.
I mean, does it look like, assuming we can't just walk in?
Well, there's people outside asking you questions when you first go in. And on account of how we look weird, we probably won't.
I
really-
assume I'm up to the guards by this point.
Yeah, Mullet's just been
Yeah, he was just
walking.
walking up there.
He just started walking like right away.
Let's watch him.
All right, so Mullet, you get up close to the guards. You're about like 50 feet away as they notice you approaching. You still have your weapon with you or out.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, do you?
Oh, no, not in this. For this.
No?
situation,
Okay. You approach. One of the dark elves approaches you. He says, deeply sorry for the inconvenience, but right now there's an invest on inside the temple.
Just give him this kind of once over look and go, may I inquire as to the nature of the investigation or what's happened?
Every single cleric and worshipper and priest was murdered about a day and a half ago.
Is he?
Are we
kidding me?
do we hear that too?
I think we're
You
further
guys are
back.
pretty far away.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just like laughing at him.
Or arguing over the qualifications of what makes a wizard or not.
Is he bullshitting me?
Do an insight check.
Nope, that's a 1.
A 1? I mean, he's a guard.
Literally the most truthful person you've ever met.
So wait, That's a -1.
All right.
Well,
You hand him your wallet, give him a hug, and walk away.
yeah. Can I see anything? Like, is there? I'm guessing there's no windows, or is there? I don't know.
Oh, it's a Gothic building. There are huge windows.
Can I see anything through them?
Sure, do a perception check.
Perception. That's beyond track. 5.
5. While you can kind of see in glass, so it's very distorted images coming through. So you don't really see much, but you are taking. You take a moment to notice that the windows are beautifully made. However, the scenes depicted on them are terrible. There are
familiar.
There are gruesome scenes of like leather-winged beasts like flying from the sky and decapitating people and things like that.
Familiar scenery. Okay. And this is the temple to Asmodeus, not just, or all, they all are? I'm a little confused on that point.
You don't know.
Okay. I asked the guards, like, this is the one where them red-robed figures reside, isn't it?
No, it's not. The red-robed figures are the suspects in the murders. How much do you know? He looks back at the other guards and kind of like nods them over. Like 2 or 3 more start approaching. He says, "How much do you know about these?"
And we see this happening.
More than like,
yeah, you guys watch as the single guard slowly becomes 4 guards that approach Moloch. 2 of them, while they were previously kind of just slack with their spears, now have like both hands on them as they approach Moloch.
Oh dear! Oh dear! What?
I'm gonna start heading not directly towards them, but like so that I'm kind of flanking to the left or the right or to the side. Doesn't look like I'm going in.
Sure.
I'll okay. What would this be called? I put my hands behind my back and I look at one of them and my eyes change color a little bit. They just kind of flicker for half a second and I go, they have something of mine and I am determined to get it back.
The guards that were
I know.
The guards that were approaching like halt a little bit. The one that's immediately speaking to you like backs up just a little. He says, "Listen, I don't care if you have any grievances with these people. Know that they are currently, as far as we know, no longer here. And we're doing our best to resolve the situation. Know that House Gelray is protecting this location as best it can, and it will bring justice to those that committed the murder. If you would like to be informed of their capture or inevitable beheading, then you can be privy to that information. However, until then, this place is off limits."
So as they're talking to him, we all notice that, and Ortok is kind of circling around. Or whatever. So is that the majority of guards that now have their attention on Moloch?
That's about half.
Okay. Do I see a way that I could, do my roguey thing and sneak into like a place I'm probably not supposed to be?
Up to you, but it is generally open terrain until the temple. As all this is going down, and Golmus sees these guards approaching approaching Moloch. He's like, huh, I want no part of this. Ta-ta. And he just books it away from you guys.
I look at the guy again and I go, do you have any one of them in custody?
That's not my information to give out. That's the Inquisitor's information to give out, and you have not been allowed in to see her.
I'm assuming she's in the temple.
You would assume.
How many guards are there abouts, just at a quick glance?
8.
In the whole area?
8. Yep.
Okay. And I'm just trying to do visuals here. So there's how many talking to Moloch right now?
4.
Okay. And the other 4 are dispersed?
They're mostly at the entrance.
Mostly at the entrance. Okay. And the temple we're trying to get into or see is across the way. We're like at the entrance.
You're at the entrance. You're at the like south western entrance to this large chamber.
Sure.
And the temple you're trying to get to is like the northwestern chamber.
Okay. And we're near. How close are we to the other 4 guards that aren't talking to Moloch?
Quite far. Like you're probably like 80, 90 yards away from that temple, and they're all at the entrance to the temple. So.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Okay, just getting my bearings.
Okay.
I'll ruminate. Yeah.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
I saw the guards back off Moloch, so I'm gonna just kind of like casually find my way back to the group.
Okay.
And you, just to recap, the guard said she doesn't want to. Inquisitor probably doesn't want to see me.
He didn't say anything specific about that. He just said that he's not letting you in. So the only way to talk to her would, and she's inside, is essentially what they're implying.
When could I have an audience with this Inquisitor?
Inquisitor Halen will be probably ending her investigation within the next couple hours.
All right, then.
Unfortunately, we had to restart the investigation because the previous Inquisitor sent was killed.
Which temple are the red-robed figures out of?
None. The red-robed figures, these red-robed people, are new down here.
As in like a few months or a few days? As in a few months or a few days?
A few days. Maybe a week.
Did they come with a human and a blue-skinned individual?
These are oddly specific questions. All you need to know is that we're taking care of it.
Oh, very well then. And as I walk away and I resume my walking stick.
All right.
And I make my way back to the group.
So what did he say?
And then let's just all, because we know it.
Hey.
Hey, good job, everybody.
Dang.
So, do you think we need to pursue this Inquisitor?
I think she might know something that we need to know.
I have a plan.
Oh, dear gods above.
I have a plan. So
Oh, bother.
I have.
Stop with fluff.
I have one robe and one amulet. And if we say we found it somewhere, we might be able to talk to this Inquisitor.
Presented as evidence.
Yes. But we'll only provide information if we talk to the Inquisitor directly.
I like it. I like it a lot.
How are we going to make it seem like we're not one of the robed figures
They said she'd be done
trying
with
to
her
get to them?
investigatoriness in the temple in a few hours. They paid us to wait.
We can say we found it somewhere. We just go in, we lie about it, talk to a. Who knows?
Right. We don't know who to trust down here. I mean, I trust no one, really, ever, but...
But the red figures didn't do us any good above, so I don't think we would trust them the least anyways.
Right. Right.
Should we do
Then
it?
it's a good enough plan. We'll have to go with something.
Let's say we found the robe and the amulet underneath one of the beds in one of the rooms at the inn. That fair?
We don't want them to go destroy the inn, do we? If that happens.
There's
to be
only
the
one
case.
inn.
There's what?
There's only one inn.
Golmus
There
did
was-
tell you about
There's another one.
There's two Hop and Slacks.
Pop and Flex.
But we know Karut. We don't want to do that to him.
He is kind of a shiesty cat, though.
I mean, he's a good guy.
No, he's not.
I mean, like, he's a good guy that deals drugs. But he's like a good guy.
What if? So I have somewhat of an idea that might give us some validity in this plan. I do still have my old scroll of pedigree from nobler times. We could be trying to investigate an internal matter of the Glens and require the assistance of the drone. Perhaps.
Well, yeah, then we could tell them that we did find the robe above, like where we actually found it.
Are you suggesting we tell the truth?
Every good lie has a grain of truth.
I mean,
And yes, I am. Just yes.
that works.
If you want, I can tell it in this voice.
Do everything in that voice. Everything.
You got it. Okay. I am still in disguise, I guess.
Right. So we tell the truth. And we try to find the cultists. Because that's what we've been trying to do. By lying. And now we're going to try the truth.
All right, let's go.
This feels weird.
I feel weird.
So
we
all
just
of you go together as a group towards the temple?
Well, let me I'll like hide behind Ortok and Moloch for a second and just I don't know. Should I become me? is the question mark. But let's put it to the group. Do you think would I do this better as Aaron Wayland or as
Carl with a K.
How is Carl with the K related to the Waylands that would be down here investigating this?
If we're telling the truth,
I'm just a distant cousin. It's just a little bit of truth. It doesn't have to be the whole truth.
you should be Aaron.
Okay.
Remove single mole. Disguise off.
All right,
Clark Kent.
Let's head to the people.
Why are you wearing Superman's suit?
Honey, where's my
Super suit. All right. You guys start heading towards the guards and this Gothic temple. As you approach, the guard that talked to Moloch turns around, sees you coming, just like, ugh. What this time?
Right. I'm from above ground Aeradale. And I'm investigating the missing persons case of one Godric Wayland. Do you have any information regarding this? And I'll hold up the scroll of pedigree. My credentials, so you know I'm telling the truth.
Godric Wayland. I can't say I know the name. Why is he important?
Well, he's a rather stoic-looking fellow. He's been seen in the company of these red-robed figures, which we're trying to apprehend. As, what do the police say? They're prime suspects in these kidnappings and potential murders.
I see.
As you're well aware. And we believe this Godric fellow, whomever he may be, is deeply tied in.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. You've got a good running story.
Indeed. I can make the, why is that such shit? It's a natural 3, but I am a persuasive bastard.
That's an advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Thank you. Oh, thank God. That's much better. 25.
He looks over to Moloch and says, "You should have led with this information. Go inside. You'll find the Inquisitor there. She'll want to know this."
Much obliged. And I'll just kind of motion for the others. So is like Gomez just gone now?
he left. He went to the side of the cavern. He's not even within your sight. He's not hiding anywhere. He just disappeared.
Well, guess that takes care of that.
One of the guards leaves the group and escorts you in. As you enter this temple, a large cathedral opens up to your vision. You see it is classic in the way that there are many arched ceilings and many small compartments on the edges, marking the edges of all of the walls. As you look up, a grand painting is put on the ceilings of various devilish and demonic looking figures in kind of provocative poses in dark clouds with lightning bolts coming off of them. It's very like Sistine Chapel, but like the dark mirror kind of in a dark mirror kind of way.
What about the other 15 chapels?
Badoom. In the center of the room lies a triangular altar with many candelabras around it. And you see in the various wooden pews that surround this altar in all directions, there are many dead bodies, just people that looked like they were murdered where they sat. Just blood gushed all over the various pews. You see probably 15 just bodies laying around. There is one red-robed body on the ground as well across the chapel. And the only moving figure that you see in the room is this black robed figure, kind of tall, pointed shoulder pauldrons that come to like a very fine point at the ends, very Fire Nation, and except for
Admiral Choi.
except the color is all black with kind of this silver spirally inlay. There's this female drow, dark skin. She's kind of done up where she's got like a very dark purple like lipstick on, and her hair, while normally like long and black, is done up into a bun. She sees you enter, and she instinctively puts her hands to her sides, where you see two silver maces strapped to her belt. She sees you enter, looks to the guard that's escorting you, and she says, "Who let these people into my crime scene?" And the guard looks at her and just says, "They have information about these cultists." And she just says, "All right, present them." And she beckons you forward. She's kind of standing over the red-robed figure that is dead on the ground. She has a matching pentagram-like amulet in her hand that she seemingly took off of the dead body, and looks at you and says, "All right, I'm listening. What do you have?"
Right. If these are the same figures, which it very much seems as if they are, we have faced and killed them before.
I'm gonna bring out the cultist's amulet and just show it to her so she knows we're real.
So she eyes them. She's a very cold look to her face. Seems very logical, cold, calculated. As you bring these items out, she views them, continues listening.
Right. We are in search of one Godric Wayland, as far as we know, current Lord of the House Wayland, who seems to be very heavily implicated with this cult. Not sure if he's in it or just working with them in some capacity. Perhaps he's kidnapped by them. We're trying to find out. But if we find him, we will find out more. There's also a blue-skinned individual, long white hair, who is heavily suspect. So if you have any information regarding either of those two, they would be of great interest in this investigation.
You seemingly proven your investigatory skills, finding your way into the undercity. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. 18 plus 9, 27. I rolled an at 18.
If you're investigating Godric Wayland and a blue-skinned fellow, that means we're perhaps on the same path. Not many people know, but House Shell Ray has been keeping an eye on them since they arrived. Been doing strange activities, spying powerful magic items, spending a little bit too much time in the Temple District. Seemingly random murders. And now they led a all-out assault on a bunch of innocent people in this temple, which I cannot explain. Would you be able to?
Well, as far as we know, they are trying to summon something. There may be a sacrificial component. Our tiefling friend here especially is in search of a particular trinket that may be of quite an interest to this cult.
Let's see.
I'll say no more, as it's not particularly my business. My business is with Godric himself.
Well, they came in here. We don't know whether they went out or if they even left at all. There's a door over there we can't open.
Why?
She nods over towards the door, kind of in one of the alcoves. It's a large iron door with a small platform right in front of it, only raised a couple inches, stone platform. You see that there are small ports all around the door, like half-inch wide holes all the way around it, in the walls. And on the platform appears to be an incinerated body.
Ooh.
You think they went down there?
Well, we tried to open it earlier, but the other Inquisitor got incinerated.
Oh,
That'll happen.
Right.
I was
We do
looking
have.
look at Aaron and I go, I thought that was your job.
I mean, I use fire. Fire is but another tool. This is definitely a trap. It's meant to kill anything that comes near it, yeah.
No way.
By my expert opinion, this thing is very dangerous. I mean, how did that happen? What specifically triggered that?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Ah,
We just heard the screams, and then we came in, and there was bones and ash on the ground.
Is there like scorch marks anywhere else in the room emanating from the door?
Do a perception check.
14.
14? No, it's pretty clear that it was very localized to right in front of the door.
Okay then. How close are we to the door?
You're probably like 30, 40 feet from the door.
okay.
I'm going to grab one of the bodies and I'm going to drag it and throw it on the pressure plate. What I think is a pressure plate.
Okay. Do you throw it on the platform? Nothing happens.
Well, that's stupid.
Here's a good
I'm-
thought.
I'll
you think
cast
it's triggered by
thaumaturgy.
opening?
What's
I'm gonna
Moloch
try
doing?
and- I'm going to cast thaumaturgy on the door and make it shake. And see if I get a reaction out of it.
It doesn't shake at all.
I move it to the ground in front of the door.
Yeah, you get this little rumble. Nothing happens.
Nothing in there.
Atreus,
Maybe it was
are
a
you
lot.
able to summon a hand?
I can, but I don't know if I can turn a doorknob with it.
Is it a doorknob or is it just a handle?
There's no handle or knob.
What? Strange.
Well, jeez.
At this point, it is a stark, flat iron door with an arched top, with like a small, like visual gap in the middle, like that's just barely enough to indicate that it would split in the middle to open.
Well, they should know how this door opens. It's their.
Could you try just pushing it with the hand?
Hi.
Nice.
Hey. You should get.
Hold on.
Suggestions.
What do we have? Something we could just throw at the door? Maybe it'll push it open.
Gonna grab another body
Just throw it.
and I'm gonna chuck it at the door.
Oh God.
You pick up the body and throw it at the door. The Inquisitor just looks at you in horror for a second. Well, you're disturbing my crime scene. And then you throw the body, smashes against the door. The blood of the body splatters against it. It clatters to the floor with no effect.
Well, I don't see you trying anything. What have you figured out about this stupid door?
That it kills people and that I shouldn't mess with it. I'm trying to figure out what else I can before I mess with it.
And what have you figured out? How does it shoot fire?
Well, there's little holes all over the door. If you...
What triggers it? Do you know yet?
That I don't know.
Okay. Right. I don't like this game. Boy.
This is a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I mean, I have an idea if
Do it.
yours is bad. But
Do it.
Okay. There's like an obvious crack I can see through.
You can't see all the way through it. It's literally just like... You can see that there is... It would open in the middle. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You can
Never
see
mind.
that, like, it's a door that would
Right.
crack through the middle, yeah.
right.
Never mind.
Okay. Do we have things to okay. Do we have things to plug those holes?
I've got a lot of ball bearings.
Wait. As do I.
Which will swiftly turn into bullets.
I was gonna say steering wheel. Oh man. That would be hilarious. Right. I have an idea that might work. Okay, Mitch.
Yes.
I have a sword made of metal that turns to fire, or whatever it is, lights on fire.
Yep.
Can I use the heat of my sword to melt? I have 5 candles in my possession. Just cause.
Uh
Because adventuring.
huh.
Can I melt them and use the wax to plug as many holes as I possibly can?
Sure.
Okay, except for, how big are the holes?
They're about a half inch around.
Okay, can I plug as many as I can, except for perhaps one? Maybe in a more centralish location.
Sure. You can plug. How many candles do you have?
5. I'm not sure how big they are.
Yeah. I'll say with that many candles. I mean, I should say that there's tons of candles in the temple itself. So if you need, let's say you use up all of your candles and a couple from the temple.
Perfect.
In order to plug them all, except for the one at the peak of the door.
Great. Right. Good and sealed, good and sealed. Is the peak of the door like really high up?
It's above your head.
But I can reach it?
But you can reach it, yeah.
Okay. This is really fucking dumb. I take the decanter of endless water. Put it against the hole.
Oh, on the hole?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
First, quencher, and I'll do the thing. I'll use the mid-range one, so not the trickle, not the like cannon fire one. But there is a middle,
like this
middle ground.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
So you put it up there, say the magic word, and you
fountain. Yeah, it's fountain. Produces
you hear the
5
water
gallons.
going in, and you start feeling considerable back pressure. Are you trying to resist that?
Yes.
Yeah, I need you to make an athletics check.
Oh boy. Yeah, this fountain produces 5 gallons of water.
Okay.
So you said acrobatics? Or athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
You know, I do a backflip and then I put it against the thing. No. That's a 9er.
A 9. With a 9, it just you can't hold it like straight to the door. It's just too much pressure, and most of the water escapes and just kind of flows. Actually, most of it goes on top of you as it just sprays against the wall.
There it is. There it is. Awesome.
You know, if you were wearing my robe, you wouldn't have gotten wet. Just saying.
I don't know if that's how that works.
The way that you
water.
said that, the way that you said that, and the way that you looked when you said that made me like really picture Kramer for some reason. It was just like,
hey, Aaron. Yeah. God.
Ortok slowly just becoming a myriad of Seinfeld characters.
That's beautiful. Wait.
You hear there's a slow clap from the Inquisitor.
And you have tried what exactly?
Nothing. That was genius, though.
Right.
What is it exactly that you do?
I was trying to find out the weapons that they were using to kill that can help us track them if they purchased any within the city.
What did you figure out?
Well, they were killed with daggers, oddly enough, with House Del Rey daggers, which is upsetting, to say the least.
We did see some dark elven individuals on our travels.
If you might have seen one of these dark elves that we ran into with the cultists, would you recognize them?
Oh, God.
Maybe.
I'm going to take out the dark elf head that I took from Wayland Estate.
Because you never know.
Do you know this man?
Like, no. She's like taken aback for a second. And
are you positive?
No, but I could get this identified, I guess.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you.
She
Can you give
takes
it back when you're done?
yes,
Oh, thank you.
and she like she takes out like a sack from out of her out of her pockets and just like stuffs it in with a bunch of other pieces of evidence, and she looks so confused, but then looks at the rest of you and says, "So, any other vital information you need to give me?"
Ooh, what about this? And I'm gonna pull out the three-faced helmet mask.
Ooh,
See if she recognized that.
so interesting. That looks like a fiend of some sort. Usually minions used by powerful people in the hells.
Wonderful. They were tough, right? Tough bastards.
Yeah, we killed like 12 of these.
Make a
Each.
deception check.
5.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna look at her and say, "Oh, he can't count. It was at least 20."
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
So I roll twice.
Roll twice and take the lesser. Yeah.
Okay. So that would have been 25.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh, even okay. Well, 25 was the lowest one.
Oh my god.
What?
Jeez.
She's like, well, excuse me.
You're excused.
I come up stopping when we are professionals, madam.
Well, I think my work is done here. I'll inform the guards outside that you have free reign. Do as you will. I'll be in the judicial building down in House Shalray if you should need me in the future. Well, actually, I should ask, where are you staying so that I might return this head?
We'll just give it to Ethel at the Broken Sword. She'll know exactly what to do with the severed head of a drow. Yeah.
Very well. Taking you seriously now because of that ridiculous persuasion check or deception check.
It's what we do.
No big deal.
No big deal. Ethel will be fine. Right.
I'll send word about this identity as well.
That's good. But yes, keep an eye out for that blue-skinned individual, likely in the company of Lord Godric Wayland.
We will.
And I give a brief description of my father.
Sounds like we already knew about him. So,
Excellent.
thanks for the information, and thanks for bringing this to my attention, because now we know that it's probably a bigger deal than we were thinking before. And she heads out.
Indeed it is.
I really want to figure this door out. Like, really bad.
I cast Eldritch Blast at the door.
I stand clear of the door.
Roll an attack.
24.
What's your armor class?
What's 16?
Roll damage.
What? Okay.
I'm scared.
Boy.
It is. Well, that's for one. I have to roll that twice because it's 2 beams.
Yep.
So 24 and 20.
That's the hit.
Yeah.
Right, the roll damage.
8. A total of 11, 8, 19.
Both of your beams strike true in the middle of the door, and it glows for a second as the impacts hit the middle. What kind of color is your beam? Are your beams?
An orangey red.
As the orangey red beams disperse on the door, they recoalesce in the middle and boom, shoot back out in your direction, and you take that much damage.
Of force damage.
Yep.
Okay.
And it came out of the center of the door, not the things around it, right?
Center of the door, yep.
Huh. I'm gonna go up to the door and just like try to push it open with my sword. Real careful, like.
As you go up to it and start trying to push it with your sword, it meets you with equal resistance, and you're unable to move it.
But nothing shoots out.
Nothing shoots out.
I'm just gonna go up to the door and try to push it open.
Okay. As you stand by the door, you're, as a result of the way it's oriented, you're obligated to stand on that slightly raised platform. So are you doing that?
Yep.
Okay. You stand on the platform and you hear a slight shift as you put your hand out towards the door. You touch it, and the texture of the door quickly changes. But to you only, Ortok. The rest of you don't really see anything. You see Ortok put his hand out, touch the door. Nothing happens. But then, Ortok, your vision, you touch the door, and a bunch of words in common sprawl across the door. And it says, "It cannot be seen whenever it's there. It fills up a room. It's much like the air. It cannot be touched. There's nothing to hear. It's quite harmless. There's nothing to fear."
I'm gonna read that back to everybody.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, it's a riddle. What do you think it is?
It's like the air. Is it sound, perhaps? Music.
What is it again? Can you read it one more time?
Sure. It cannot be seen whenever it's there. It fills up a room. It's much like the air. It cannot be touched. There's nothing to hear. It's quite harmless. There's nothing to fear.
Never mind. Not sound. Is it natural gas?
Methane.
Does it smell like rotten eggs over there, Ortok?
Smells normal. So smells really clean for some reason. Oh, it's this robe.
Right.
Could you actually copy and paste that into the chat?
Yeah,
Just
I can
so
do that.
I can
It'll make it a little easier for you
look at it
guys.
again.
There's the thing. Oh, the formatting is really weird for some reason.
No. Formatting.
Whoa! What happened? Oh, Google Chrome, you're so weird. There we go.
Okay.
Is it Silence. I'm just like asking everybody.
I'll be seen. I'll be touched. Is it love? The answer is always love. One of these days it's going to be love.
It's quite harmless. Nothing to fear. It's
Right.
just love.
Right.
Anything else? Anybody?
Bueller.
I'm trying to think like what fills a room. I guess silence could. Nothing to hear.
Darkness.
Darkness.
It's the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably go with darkness.
Oh, that actually, yeah.
I would go with darkness. Should we go with darkness? Well, it could also be light. But I think it's probably darkness.
Yeah, but
you can
that's
see
harmless.
it here.
Yeah, it's quite harmless.
Should we do it?
Ortok, as you're observing the words, another set of words appear at the bottom.
Password incorrect.
And before you say anything, it says, "Your answer must be."
In the form of a question.
No, this says,
Oh.
"Your answer must be." Period.
Are there any lights in this cathedral?
It's it's candlelit.
Okay. I'll start dousing, I guess.
All right, start putting out the candles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're putting all the candles out slowly
I'll
but
also
surely.
I'll put my owl eyes on.
Okay. You put all of the candles out over the course of the next few minutes. It's totally dark.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
Right. Now what?
I'm going to look at the door and be like, darkness.
As you say the word darkness, you hear a as you see the door slowly creak open.
Woot woot. Let's go.
Fucking temples with their fucking booby traps and their fucking riddles.
Come on, let's go, owl eyes.
And I'm going to say, as the door opens and the dark hallway that it reveals becomes visible, that's where we're going to end tonight.
Woo.
Oh man. Good times. I'm definitely going to keep that voice if I ever make like a halfling wizard or something.
That was great.